It's party time in the Champions League. 2 games, 2 wins. Opportunity for a third today, but it's going to be tough with playing Chelsea. That's a very quick and efficient intro, wasn't it? So yes, welcome back. I am TedRedwoodFM, or Ed. I should really just make my mind up. And we are back with FC Oss in Football Manager 2018, Season 10, Episode 2. That bit is long though and not efficient. I last met you for a 4-1 demolition of Celtic. At least I thought that was a demolition. We then played UNA in the first round of the KNVB Becker. We won 12-1, all 12 goals, obviously coming in the first half. UNA getting a consolation goal in the 76th minute. I told them not to get complacent, but clearly they just didn't care. Goals there scored by Suarez, who scored 5 times. Stanek got 2. Rahak got a hat-trick. Ooh, hello. Marta got 1 and Gonzalez got 1. We then got an injury to Edgar Ferrez, so we changed formation a bit. I don't think that impacted things too much. It's just a football manager thing where teams don't want to score more in the second half of games sometimes. We then played NAC in the league 1-2-0, very straightforward. They got a man sent off, but nothing doing there particularly. We then played Besiktas in the group stage of the Champions League. Unfortunately, Buzek was injured, so I didn't get to play his former club, but we went 3-0 up before they got one back just before half time, but then nothing really happened in the second half, so quite straightforward away win there. Then 2 league games on the bounce, one against Vitesse, which we lost 4-3. It was a really back and forth game, so they went 1-0 up, we went 2-1 up, then it went to 2-2, and then they went 3-2 up, so they got an equaliser and a goal within a minute. Zuniga got the equaliser in the 57th, and then they scored in the 85th minute. We were chasing a winner because you know I love chasing a winner and it never goes well. So yeah, 4-3 defeat to a title rival is a shame, but it's a long season, so I'm not too fussed right now. And then we just beat FC Eindhoven 4-1, so a good tonic for the Vitesse loss. A couple of weeks between the games as well due to the international break. Zuniga, Suarez and Erb on the score sheet there. So honestly, not a lot has happened between games. I'm still at a loss as to why our training facilities are delayed by yet another year, but that's neither here nor there. Our wage budget is almost 800k, which is crazy. That's purely based on what we got in the bank, because we are not making that amount of money at all. But we'll see how today goes. I'm only planning on doing the one game against Chelsea, but if it's quick, then we'll do the other game as well. I don't know who's next in the league. I didn't really check. I need to show you the table. I'll show you that after. But this is the team for Chelsea. We've got Julio Cesar in goal. We've got Manuel, Munoz, Bokosian and Krizek at the back. Ronaldo and Prazak in the middle, with Gray and Romero on the wings, Buzek and Zuniga up front. Pretty much our full strength side. Arguably our fullbacks we've got no real idea about, but that's sort of my fault for not being able to find good fullbacks. Honestly, I tried so hard. And even looking back now, the fact I couldn't get anything better upsets me. But at least in this game, we're playing an actual right back at right back, unlike our other Champions League games. Manuel looks like he's coming on really nicely. On loan from Man U, contract expires in 2.5 seasons, so that's not happening, but could be one of those where we keep him on for a while. I'm tempted to extend the loan now just so Oss get the most of him for the next couple seasons. I mean, he's only 20, so some good development in there, hopefully fairly professional. So yeah, I guess we'll see. So we get into the game. Who looks familiar? So they've got Thibaut Courtois is still in goal for them at the ripe old age of 34, 164 caps for Belgium now. And at 34, he's still going to be pretty near the top of his game. Still valued at 23.5 million, contracted for another almost 2 years. Yeah, it just looks ridiculous. They've got Amric Laporte and they've got De Ligt at the back and amongst regen. De Ligt, I remember, actually went for 100 odd million. Yeah, 123 million a number of seasons ago now. And that's crazy that he's not even getting played. How old is he? He's only 27, so the fact he's a rotational backup option for Chelsea for that much money is just crazy. So I recognise some of these names. I don't recognise this guy. Cengiz Under looks pretty good. 52 million. I think that's pushing it a little bit, but no, he's not bad. Turkish right mid. They got Milinkovic Savic in the middle. Vinicius Junior, who, yeah, okay, so transfer to Real Madrid was actually confirmed on this game, which is fine. Yeah, 40 million. I think that's literally just happened in real life, like it's gone through now. But he's been at Chelsea for a few years after transferring for 94. And then they've got Pellegrini and Silva up front. Was he the guy who used to be at AC Milan? Yes, he is, and he's doing all right. And Pellegrini is another name that's vaguely familiar to me. Starts at Genoa on the game. Went to Chelsea for only 43 million, so a bargain. I am not anticipating much from this game. Chelsea are on another level. Looks like they're playing maybe not a completely full strength side, but a very good side. On the bench, they've got Icardi, Sterling, and there's probably other names you'd recognise, but I don't recognise them. But Pellegrini has it for Chelsea on the right-hand side, and they've just played it through us at will there, haven't they? And hit the bar. 12 minutes in, that's the first highlight. It's a bit of a worrying sign. One of the really good things about this, I didn't even mention this at the start, is Celtic actually beat Chelsea in their second game, so it leaves it wide open. So we could... I mean, it makes it a bit of an issue, because if we lose both times to Chelsea, then it's actually brought Celtic back into it a bit more. But it does mean they're sort of beatable. And considering how we dismantled Celtic the first time round, I'm pretty confident. I think if anything, it gives us more of a chance at first place, because we could arguably throw a result against Chelsea and still possibly finish ahead of them. But I suppose we'll see. But Chelsea are coming at us a bit. Minnows does manage to get it out to Prazak. It drops really kindly for Romero, who runs at the defence here. Gives it to Prazak, more creative force there. Buzek out wide to Gray. Tries to get across and fails. This is the longest highlight ever. Well, it's a mistake at the back. Zuniga nods it down and Buzek scores. I've got to be really quiet because my kids have just been hassle getting to bed. But Buzek scores, makes it 1-0 to FC Oss against Chelsea. And I'm not going to say it's our year or anything, because there's a long way to go. But the fact we're looking, or at least scoring a goal, being vaguely competitive against these sorts of sides, it gives me some hope. If you look at the table, currently 9 points from 3 games. Let's hope it stays that way. I spoke too soon. I pulled a cut face, and Chelsea are coming forward. De Ligt plays it through, ends up with Andre Silva, and he hits the bar, and we clear it before the follow-up comes in. Deary me. Highlight straight from that throw-in, which is not ideal. Have I even pressed record? I have pressed record. That's good. Well done, me. They have about 30 yards from goal, and Julio Cesar with the save. That's only one clear-cut chance, but the other two have been decent long shots. So putting down long shots is a bit harsh. Andre Silva in the box. Just rolls through for Julio Cesar. We've got a throw-in just before half-time on the left-hand side. Ronaldo gives it to Romero. Back to Krizek. Ronaldo again. Some good link-up play here. Zuniga is through, and Zuniga scores. I'm so happy. It's ridiculous. Just before half-time. Seconds before half-time. A really well-worked move here. Ronaldo to Romero. It's just some nice one-touch passing. Ronaldo, just a destroyer in defensive midfield, but also creative force. Finds Prazak. He knows when to give it to someone who can pass just as well as him. He finds Zuniga, and then Zuniga finds the back of the net, and we are 2-0 up against Chelsea. Telling him not to be complacent. They've gained focus. If we can just, even if we draw from here, that's a good result in my eyes. But I'd rather we win, obviously. Not sure if the highlight is continuing from kickoff. It's gone on for like half a minute, and Zuniga is down the left-hand side and crosses it, and Buzek is there. Doesn't quite reach him. Zuniga, Romero. It might just be because we got a good attack in, but Zuniga is 3-0. He's planted it into the bottom right corner from the edge of the box. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. So Zuniga picks it back up here. Gives it to Romero. It was actually a pass. Romero to Prazak. Prazak to Zuniga. Zuniga curls it in. Thierry Henry like into the bottom corner. Almost a carbon copy of the first one, but wow. 3-0. Chelsea potentially with a highlight now. They have a throw-in quite high up on our right-hand side. Hit it from the edge of the box, and it's just over the bar. They've created one good opportunity. Like, the clear-cut chance, yeah, and they've had 2 good long shots that hit the bar. But arguably, I mean, we've been super clinical, but I think we deserve to be winning 3-0, but I will look at making some changes, because we've got a couple of yellows. Ronaldo struggling a bit. Unfortunately, this is the good thing. I know we've had to sacrifice a few guys because of registration rules, because I stupidly loaned out everyone who's been here for a couple of years and is under 21, so I'm an idiot. But we've got such good strength in depth at the moment. So Prazak's going to drop to defensive mid, and then Ronaldo comes off for Verheyen, who's been superb for years. Minnows is on a yellow, but I don't really want to bring him off. But I will bring off Jose Gray for Rahak, because Rahak is, again, reliable. We know what he's going to do. And actually, I'm going to bring off Minnows for Edgar Ferrez, who came along really nicely. It's only recently I've been editing some of the videos. I remember saying he's coming back and I'm probably going to sell him, but he's performed well when he's played. So, like, why would I? Who's interested in him at the moment? Newcastle, Watford, Marseille. He's no slouch, this boy. But I'm going to leave all the instructions as is. We just made personnel changes, really, and hopefully we can just hold on to a win. So free kick deep. Julio Cesar gives it to Krizek, and they're pushing us quite high up the pitch, which does play into our hands historically as Oss, because we like to retain possession and keep it relatively short. And they've gone really long, and Boghosian clears it. Panic stations. But the defenders, I've always told to play it short, but also be safe. So as soon as we're pressed too much, they just hoof it, and it seems to give us so much space. It's ridiculous for our strikers to run into. So I'm a huge fan of how I've got this team playing. I still don't really understand it, but I'm not going to moan. Can we get this out? Krizek heads it straight to De Ligt. It looks like this is Chelsea's highlight after all that babbling. Regen striker Carnero on the ball, gives it wide to this Under guy, and Boghosian pulls down Mauro Icardi for a penalty, which is unfortunate. Can Julio Cesar keep it out, keep the clean sheet, give himself a little bonus? Brucey bonus? No. And obviously now the panic starts to set in that we're not going to hold on to this. Highlight, a minute or two later. Ramiro is on it wide, gives it to Verheyen. Rahak was in a ton of room and just got ignored by Verheyen, and I'm not overly fond of that decision making there. And it looks like Chelsea might have another go at us here. We're really high up the pitch, and Icardi has found a gap in behind. Julio says our saves. I'm going to drop to a counter and change some instructions. Hold on. So we're going for a normal defensive line. We're not going to close down as much. We're going to keep it on, prevent short distribution from goal kicks, but just go counter. And hopefully that'll just hold them at arm's length a little more. Chelsea coming out at the start of the highlight. It started really early with them assaulting the goal. So hopefully we can get a little counter on here. Although Icardi plays through Carnero, it's a bit of a rubbish shot wide. I'll probably stay with you now, especially now because it's a corner. Carnero puts it into the back of the net. And at what point do you go contain? I think it might be now. Let's go defensive to start and just see what happens. 5 minutes left. We are 3-2 up against Chelsea. I knew this onslaught would come. Verheyen with a corner though. Ferrez is there and hits the bar. I think that was a good save by Courtois. It then came off the bar. That would have finished the game. We've got 2 minutes to hold on. Yeah, you knew an assault on the goal was coming at some point. They've been pretty solid. But they finally added that bit of clinical nature to their game. But with a minute left, and that's surely it now. A famous 3-2 victory for FC Oss over Chelsea, and we rode our luck a little bit at times, but I would say that is deserved. I'm going to say don't get complacent because I'm a horrible manager. That is possibly and probably our biggest result as Oss manager. We've had some good ones along the way, but we've won 3 in 3 in the Champions League now. 3 wins from 3, yeah, sure. Assistant Scott Parker, off you go. Get given 1.3 million. Zuniga was on form. Let's look at his stats so far this season. So he's on an 8.49 average. Champions League 4 goals, 2 assists in 3. Eredivisie 12 goals, 5 assists. It's crazy. That boy is crazy. Still wanted by Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia, which is a bit of a worry. But we'll see. We'll see how he goes. The thing that makes me really happy about that result is just the fact that it makes it look like we belong. We've had some European heartache as Oss. We've not got winning a trophy, anywhere near winning a trophy, sorry. But we've thrown away some really good opportunities in our time. Obviously, last season we had the standard of the age issue where they just held us at arm's length. We couldn't get through. Season before that was that the season we didn't even get through the group stage of the Europa League, which was just an unmitigated disaster. And then the year before that was the infamous last-minute penalty miss by Boghosian, costing us our place in the semi-final of the Europa League. So it's nice that we are finally showing that we can compete against the bigger teams. The only issue I now have is, without meaning to tempt fate too much, it looks like we're going through the group. But that means that it's Champions League or nothing. Whereas if we went through third, I think we'd have a genuinely good chance of winning the Europa League. I'm not so sure about the Champions League and if we can ride our luck in about like 6 or 8 games, depending on who we draw in the next rounds. But I guess we'll see. In terms of the group as it stands though, Celtic beat Besiktas in their game. So it's currently Oss on 9, Celtic 6, Chelsea 3, Besiktas 0. I mean, imagine if Celtic go through that. In the other groups, I mean, this shows you the sort of landscape of football, pretty much 10 years into the future on game. So Barcelona, PSG going through as it stands there. Napoli, Madrid, both going right. Arsenal are sort of okay as well, strangely. And Nantes, which is very odd. Bayern and Sporting looking good in their group. Inter are lagging a bit, but maybe that's still true to real life. Leverkusen and Atletico looking good in theirs. Valencia and Monaco. Man U and Seville, and then Juventus and Tottenham. The sort of teams you expect to be going through now. So not a lot has changed really. Obviously Gretzson is at Valencia and still not doing much. Only valued at 20.5 million now, so I think we did quite well to get 25 million for him and a future sell-on fee. But we are also in the third round draw for the KNVB Becker. I'll just draw all teams. To be honest, I'd like to think we can, I mean that makes it tougher. I'd like to think we can retain the trophy. So we're playing Telstar. We've got a league game now, and then we're playing Telstar in the second round. And the winners of that then play Ajax in the third round. So it's hard, but it gets rid of one of the harder teams early. And we've historically done pretty well against Ajax, so I'm not ridiculously fussed. But just to give you a bit of background, because I don't always do this, Telstar are currently in the Jupiler League. They've been there all this time in this save. So they shouldn't really cause us too many issues. Our team is strong now. Like I've said, we've got so much strength and depth compared to previous years. We've got actual players rather than just youths who have potential. If they've got potential, they're already very good. But looking at the schedule and looking at the time, I have already recorded a Newcastle episode tonight and it's still so hot. It's ridiculous. And my wife's waiting for me to help her out with some Excel stuff. So I'm going to have to cut this short. So where I will next see you is, I mean, I'm not sure. As it stands, I'm not sure because it depends what happens in the rest of the group and in this Chelsea game, but I'm not going to show you anything up to at least Celtic unless we do the game before and Celtic. But if the group is already pretty much sewn up or it looks like it will turn into final day drama, then I'll end up coming back for Besiktas and maybe Ajax or I don't know, we'll see. I'll let you know, it'll probably be Besiktas because you haven't seen them, but if there's more drama, then I'll show you Celtic as well. I guess we'll find out. So recently it has been very Champions League heavy. I do apologise, but you've seen the Eredivisie stuff in the first couple of seasons up, and it's nothing new. We should really be winning it. Oh, in terms of that, the table's there. We are 4 points behind Heerenveen. We're in third place. We have a game in hand, so we'll be a point behind if we win our game in hand. It's early doors, and we're playing real soon, so we'll see if that turns into some kind of title race and you see more of that as well. But if you have enjoyed that, please do like and subscribe. Any comments, I'm always open. To be honest, I record this, I'm probably a good couple weeks in advance. I'm probably going to not be doing stuff like this far in advance in future versions of FM. But any comments about anything I do in the game, like I know I signed too many youngsters, but if you've got any other advice, let me know. But thank you very much for watching.